Hello, everyone. My name is Aris, and here let's get into some action. Now, today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different sort of video to start a retrospective of sorts on a different little game. That game would be this game you can see in front of you called World of Demons. It's an iOS game made by Platinum Games in collaboration with DNA that is going to be going down off the App Store relatively soon. So I did want to kind of talk about it because this game is honestly pretty underrated. What exactly is World of Demons? Well, World of Demons is a small little iOS game that was developed with Platinum Games initially back in about April 2018 with DNA. Now, if you don't know who DNA is, they're the company that does some gacha games like Pokemon Masters and stuff like that, all sorts of things. It's a game that has a lot of folklore Japanese mythos, and it was released on April 2nd, 2021. And of course, on January 5th, they announced the game they're going to be removing it from the arcade on the 18th and shut down on February 1st. This game came out and was a bit okay on Metacritic, very overlooked. World of Demons is really a underrated, great game of mobile samurai action. I want to go over and show kind of the game basics, your gameplay screens, and of course, what this game is really about. So, you basically start out on this title screen where you have different choices here. You could pick different chapters, and right now, I'm ranked 20, and I've got all this sort of currency I could use. In this game, it's basically a chapter like level-based game, and you start with these. So you're fighting these yokai, these demons, with your samurai. Now, there are 4 samurai you have to pick out of in the initial game. They all connect to a base lore. You might kind of notice here, you have Onimaru, one of my favorites, Sayo. You have Dozen, the big monk, and Ren, who's kind of like your Platinum Games rival to Onimaru. And each of them have their own play styles a little bit. Onimaru's got the sword. He's fast and can combo well. Sayo she actually has distance. The monk hits hard. And Ren is kind of like Onimaru, but a little bit more precise. And in these games, you can fight in your different levels. You gain more characters as you go along, starting with Onimaru, and you enhance your samurai with weapons and eventually different yokai with missions. So basically, you can gain these weapons that you pick up with different elements. There's very interesting elemental system in this game. It's quite a bit different. There's the fire, the purple poison, ice, wind. You have like an electricity element and that sort of thing. When you fight through the levels, you fight demons. You actually gain them as partners to use in sort of combos and actually use as summons to include in your gameplay. And now, of course, this game, it does have a little bit of the mobile game gotcha elements, but you really don't have to use it. You have your currencies, you have different ways like gold to level up things. You can enhance your minions over here, and you can enhance weapons and stuff like that with gold and different currencies. So it's that aspect of it. And in each mission, you have different objectives and trophies you can do. And of course, you've got all your settings, everything like that. So basically, you start off the game and you go through different chapters, different missions in all sorts of different places. And in each chapter, you have a sort of a starting story thing, but you also have other possibilities like a skirmish or an elemental unity. These are different sort of levels. A yokai duel, which is like a boss fight. Elemental unity is like using a specific element on your weapon to succeed. You start with your samurai, you want, and then you go and select your mission to start, and it'll tell you kind of the place and the enemies you have, plus your available weapons. On this screen, you can see left kind of side there. There's a elementals triangle where fire beats wind, wind beats ice, ice beats fire, and then the electricity and poison sort of looking elements interact with each other and beat each other. So it's very interesting and different in that way. You go to your next button, and then basically you pick your samurai out of the four. You'll start with just this guy, and then you can have eventually you'll get Sayo, you'll get the other ones, and you can equip their weapons, you pick their demons, and then you begin. I want to go kind of forward to talk a little bit about the gameplay itself. Now, of course, this game is on the iOS, so actually in order for me to be able to move my characters around, you actually have to kind of drag your finger on the touch screen and have him run around. It's not bad at all necessarily, but it can be a little bit tough. If you drag your right around him, you'll get kind of the camera. You grab him and drag him, for your movement here. And then you'll use your buttons on the right here to attack and do different things. Now, what's interesting about this game, this has a surprising amount of death, as most Platinum games do. You have your regular attacks and slashes, and if you do them, kind of in a row, you'll get a combo. But you can also kind of hold slashes, you can do different things. So, I'll run into the classic yokai, the Kappa here, and you'll be talking to him, talking smack to him, back and forth, and trying to ask questions, and you'll engage with him here. And I'm just gonna kind of show the basics here, but like you could do a combo. You have your regular combos, but like if you hold, like I just did there, he'll go and do like a different attack for a hold, or like I could just do a regular combo here. And then, like, you do a strong attack into uppercut. Of course, in this game, you can dodge, move around. You want to dodge attacks, and if you perfect dodge them, like in most Platinum games, you can get a counter. Now, what's really cool about this game, besides the fact that I've got this character, on the top left, you can see there's the two different characters. I can switch out between my samurai here, and I've got one of my favorites, Sayo, here. And Sayo will play differently because she's got this spear-like weapon, and she actually has range, if you can see here. So, like, if I do a combo with her, I'll do something different with, like, the range here. And you can kind of maneuver around, dodge your attack, move in and out, do different combos. All that regular stuff. But what really adds to this basic game in a couple ways is each weapon has a little bit of difference to it. Besides the elements, they can have different what's called ultimates or specials. When you build up enough combo, you can get like an ultimate skill. Now, what really adds to this basic combat, I mean, this would be pretty good as it is for an iOS game, but you can see here I've got some 3 demons with me here. And I can kind of palette swap my top here. And if I press them, I'll summon the demon and they'll do an attack. And that can lead actually into combos. For example, I press this top demon, it's a big snake one. It'll freeze my enemy and kind of set up for me to do more damage. Or if I'm surrounded by enemies, I can press this guy and boom, I'll get the electric, like, lion-looking yokai here, and he'll fly around the screen, allowing me to, like, get people around me, get them all at once. you can kind of use them to do air attacks and actually set up with them. Like that will freeze them and let me keep punishing, keep my combos up, or do all sorts of other stuff. And each samurai can have different yokai. So let's say I'm playing with Sayo here, and yeah, my dodge will go out. I press this red one. He's a fire demon, and he sends in fire and pillars, and those can actually hit enemies and throw them upwards. Then you have this one is a wind demon. It grabs out enemies with hands and puts them in the air and lets you slash them. And again, just like you can combo off the demons. There's literally demons that throw your enemies into the air and let you just like combo like that. That's kind of the basics of the combos. Now I want to get into some skirmishes and battles here. You get to these purple areas here, and once you enter those, purple will give you a duel. So let's see. Let's say I want to freeze him. Boom. He was just out of my reach. So let's say I unleash the lightning. You can see the potential here, and like there's chests and stuff you can open in the levels. Get your gold. You do your skirmishes, and you keep building this up as you go through the levels. Try to see Kappa. Boom! Look at that. Boom! So the Kappa can like throw them into the air. Boosh. Oh, and I just got a perfect dodge there. During that one, I got a perfect dodge, and that let me kind of like leap across the screen there and slice them. So you saw when you get like demons like this Kappa one, which is the basic one, that one throws a water into the air, and then when you get the water in the air, you can kind of leap into the air and do air combos off of it. So it's really cool in that way where like you can add on to this in your own depth and your own way. I want to see if I can get an ultimate or something like that. And then you'll have right here your platinum games kind of enemy introduction. And this is Kama Itachi. So boom. And you get into the fight. Then like, now you beat him up, he feels better. You get this funny music. And so we go. Now, on the top here, you can see my character on the top left corner has this yellow meter. I want to see if I can't get to it to show part of this game. Yeah, I could interact with the environment like using the water demons there. And it kind of make you do that sometimes. So there's little bits of that. And now you've got like these guys who will do like spinning attacks around you, wind demons. So that's basically your gameplay loop. See if I can't get another battle going. See if I can't get the ultimate here. And you can see like I can throw him around and like stun him. And that again, that weapon triangles at. So here's my ultimate. And he is omega dead. You just like slash the bosses with it. Boom. You see, triple S, just like that. You use your demons, you use your combos, you use your different weapons, your different samurai, get through the battles, pull off cool combos, classic platinum games, sort of stuff. Let's switch here. I'll show you Ren and Dojin here. These other guys. And like they have different cooldowns, different things. One thing that's great about this game, besides the gameplay loop itself, the presentation here in the different areas. As you can see, do have somewhat of a basic area. Oh boy, yeah. You see why I don't use Dozin that much. He kind of slow. So he moves. Ren is like precision samurai. He moves fast, and if you get like a combo going, he can get really deadly. Like he does draws. He does like these samurai draw attacks and stuff. You can see, Shink, like he has like almost a Virgil in him, if you will. He's got like those attacks. Like you could store up, I think, things with him. Do a crazy attack, all that stuff. Let's see if we can't get Dozin. And Dozin, obviously, here, he hits like a truck. I think he has like a charge. Yeah, he can like charge through enemies and stuff like that. See if I can't just blast someone with him. Oh. You have to kind of aim one of those. You see, guys, like I hit like a truck with him. Let's use my ice demon. I actually got an S with him, surprising. So go back to Ren. And you can see like each character has a little bit of a different style of play. Like he does the sheathing, doesn't just hit hard. So you got 4 different pretty good characters, 4 different styles. Switch between them, use different yokai. I haven't really used Ren that much, but he's actually pretty good. And you have your different demons that you encounter in each level. Oh. So you have your demons, you have your samurai, you have this gameplay loop and this selection of different missions as you go through here. You have kind of this story. I'm going to talk a little bit about the fact that this has a pretty simple but effective story here. You go through, multiple 4 different areas here. In each chapter, you have up to 4 chapters, and it starts getting more and more crazy. And as you go through, like, you'll meet the new samurai. And you have these basic characters, of course, Onimaru. And basically, how this starts is there is this big demon lord here, Shuten Doji, who Onimaru here freed from the stone he was locked in, very Okami like, if you will. And you go across the land, gaining these samurai allies and other ones while you knock the demons out of their stupor and the command of this big Shuten Doji, which is connected to all the characters in all their different ways. Each have some connection to the main villain here, and he actually makes for a surprisingly intimidating presence. And he has like different generals you have to fight that Onimaru used to train with. So he trained with the other generals and fought with him. Sayo here is searching for her mother, and that ends up getting connected to the main villain, and her mother is like on his side. She ends up being really interesting and cool and actually like developed. Dozen like is the monk that runs the monastery, and he took in like Sayo's mother at one point, and it kind of connects to her. Ren is like the rival to Onimaru, and like his master got like killed by him, or so he thinks, or there's this whole conflict between them. They get mad at each other, and like she's getting trying to stop them from fighting or going on her own. There's this whole tale that kind of unravels itself as you go along and go through these different areas. I'll go, and this is the point right here where you meet Sayo here, and she's like, "You there? I can sense the rage burning within you. And this is my holy shrine. You are not allowed here." Science yokai stays the fuel, and you end up having to fight her like in this back and forth samurai duel. And you can see she's pretty strong. And there's like a boss fight. You can have like these clashes in this crazy stuff. What are you? Like he has demon blood. And this story kind of like you get these back and forth, you get these characters interacting. It's actually pretty good. It's not crazy complicated like a Bayonetta 3 or something like that. It's a simple story that just builds up these characters, and they end up being really cool and interesting. Sayo, Guardian of the Foxfire Shrine, what are you doing out here? And now he's going after the villain, Shuten Doji, pay for what he's did. An Oni hunter, I don't need help for you. Oni overlord, ruler of the void beyond. You know, they're at odds at first, and like they don't need each other, and then they have to team up to end up in a fight together. They end up like teaming up with her, and then you meet the other samurai as you go through and make up your differences or fight things together. And as this goes on and on, you'll unravel more of about the characters and a little bit about their backstories, about the yokai and how they're all connected and stuff like that. You go through the demon world, you go through snow areas, all that sort of fun stuff. It's actually a surprisingly decent story that comes about here with the villain and everything like that. Presentation. This game's got some pretty awesome presentation. Not just like the character designs, they're really cool, but the different areas, you saw some of them from before. Like you've got the shrines, and if you go through here, you get these different crazy areas. You've got these stylized sort of void like demon scapes, very reminiscent of like a Bayonetta game. And this area here is like this cool looking snow area where you fight like snow demons, and it's actually a surprisingly well painted art style with the iOS game. In terms of presentation, one of the coolest things is like right here there's the yokai designs, and you've got your kappas, you've got your crazy heads, your serpents, and you can view like stuff of their models, their different like variants, different elemental types of them, the crazy spiders, and it just gets crazier and crazier. Like have you heard of the Tengu? And like he flies around here. You have the different artwork they all did, all by Platinum Games and their artists. And you go through more spiders. Here's the guy I used, Nue. He's like a boss in this game. The nine-tailed fox, See the crazy look about some of these guys. You've got, your Onis, your red Onis, your different types, your skeletons. And then you get over here, like crazy different yokai, like the teapots. Like here's like Raijin, and I think the Raijin, Fujin, all those kind of things. And then you get like, here's where it goes absolutely crazy. Shuten Doji, the main villain, and you can see like him here. And there's like Ibaraki Doji, and her super skills, and she's like an awesome female. She's connected to Sayo, and like you get Kuma Doji, who's got this crazy scythe and fights you and uses like ice attacks. So like the enemy design on this game is just really cool to see, done with their own in-house stuff, supervised by Kamiya, directed by Sakabe. And then you've got Inaba, who runs Platinum Games as the CEO, and all these different artists. Small little team, relatively speaking, for the game, wrapping up and the end of things. This game kind of, for the story, ends on a cliffhanger. You chase Shuten Doji out of this world, and he goes to like go fight in another dimension. It's like, and that's just where it ends. And you're gonna end up chasing him in chapter 5. There's like this kind of cliffhanger which stinks, and now I'm not sure if we'll ever know. I wonder if they're gonna turn this into a full on game. So I wonder if they're taking this and moving this. Maybe we get a surprise in the Nintendo Direct in February or something crazy like that. I'm just hoping now more people can see what I see about how underrated this game is, how great the characters are. I mean, I love Sayo. She's one of the best female characters in Platinum Games beyond Bayonetta, and really underrated. There's a lot to love about this underrated game, and the elements of it, the action, the like supers, the gameplay, the combat, the movement. There's just so much to this game. World of Demons is pretty great. I hope more people see like games like this that are kind of very underrated, and maybe they'll take it, make it into something else, something more. Hey guys, this has been RS, and thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this video, especially if you want to support this channel and this sort of game, and more about action games and character action. Thank you for watching.